Hello, in this presentation, I'll discuss the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. To begin, let us first get familiarized with South Asia. South Asia, the southern part of the Asian continent, is also known as Indian subcontinent. The expression South Asia usually includes Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka. The Himalayas in the north, the Indian Ocean in the south, the Arabian Sea in the west, and the Bay of Bengal in the east provide a natural separation to the region, which is largely responsible for the linguistic, social, and cultural distinctiveness of the subcontinent. The boundaries of the region are not as clear in the east and west as they are in the north and south. Afghanistan and Myanmar are often included in discussions of the region. China is an important player but is not considered to be a part of the region. South Asia stands for diversity in every sense, but combination of both geographical and political factors influences all the countries in the region. The importance of peace and development through effective regional and global integration has become an important factor in the contemporary world. The strength and development of the states today is not measured in terms of military and defense capacity, but in terms of how a state is able to promote trade relations, investments, and economic integration within the region as well as globally. Saarc has emerged due to the growing importance of regionalism. Wealth of human and material resources, coupled with other common features like geographical proximity, historical backgrounds, and common social and political norms of development, led towards the formation of Saarc. The main idea behind Saarc formation was promotion of political, economic, and social interaction, common vision for using region's potential, and interdependence to counter threats. Let us now assess the origin, evolution, achievements, challenges, and future prospects of Saarc in detail. Saarc is an organization of South Asian nations established on December 8, 1985. The very first proposal for regional integration in South Asia was made by the late President of Bangladesh, Zia-ur-Rahman, on May 2, 1980. Prior to this, the idea of South Asian integration was discussed in at least 3 conferences. The foreign secretaries of 7 countries in South Asia met for the first time in Colombo in April 1981, followed by a series of meetings in Nepal, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and India. The governments of 7 South Asian countries adopted Saarc Charter during the first Saarc summit held on 7 and 8 December in 1985 in Dhaka, formally establishing the Saarc. The 7 founding members of Saarc were Bhutan, India, Sri Lanka, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. Afghanistan joined the organization in 2007. Meetings of heads of state are usually held on annual basis, and meetings of foreign secretaries twice a year. The headquarters and the secretariat of the Saarc are at Kathmandu, the capital city of Nepal. Australia, European Union, China, Myanmar, South Korea, Iran, Mauritius, US, and Japan are the observer states of Saarc. Observer state means a non-member state that is given the privilege by the organization to participate in its activities. The objectives of Saarc, as defined in its charter, are to promote the welfare of the people of South Asia and to improve their quality of life, to accelerate economic growth, social progress, and cultural development in the region, and to provide all individuals the opportunity to live in dignity and to realize their full potentials, to promote and strengthen collective self reliance among the countries of South Asia, to contribute to mutual trust, understanding, and appreciation of one another's problems, to promote active collaboration and mutual assistance in the economic, social, cultural, technical, and scientific fields, to strengthen cooperation with other developing countries, to strengthen cooperation among themselves in international forums on matters of common interest, to cooperate with international and regional organizations with similar aims and purposes. Cooperation of the Saarc is based on five principles, which are respect for sovereign equality, territorial integrity, political independence, non interference in internal affairs of other states, and mutual benefit. Sovereign equality means every independent state possesses the same legal rights and every state must respect the rights of other states. Territorial integrity means a state should neither promote nor impose border changes in other nations. Let us now discuss the progress and development of Saarc during the recent years. Since its formation, the level of cooperation among the member countries has increased substantially. The organization is moving from making declarations to practical implementation of the plans and policies. Cooperation is evident from the various programs and forums initiated for mutual benefits, like South Asian University in New Delhi, establishment of food bank, telemedicine network. Being a poor region, Saarc countries need support and assistance in capital, resources, education, and technology from the more developed regions. The member countries now welcome any assistance from the observer countries. For example, Japan has offered help in social infrastructure development and disaster management. China offered donation to South Asian Development Fund. Saarc has also been in the process of making agreements with other regional and international organizations. External support helps Saarc to achieve better future in the social and economic fields. For the success of Saarc, economic and trade cooperation is very much important. SAPTA and SAFTA are the steps taken in direction of economic cooperation among Saarc nations. The Saarc Preferential Trading Arrangement was signed in April 1993 and came into force in December 1995. The SAPTA aimed at promoting mutual trade and economic cooperation among the member countries through exchange of concessions. It symbolized the first step towards creation of a trade bloc in the South Asian region. Under the SAPTA mechanism, the Saarc countries identified 226 items for exchange on tariff concessions ranging from 10% to 100%. However, the member countries recognized the need to move towards a higher level of trade and economic cooperation in the region. As a result, the Saarc Council of Ministers signed a framework agreement on South Asian Free Trade Area, that is SAFTA, in January 2004, which came into force on January 1, 2006. According to SAFTA, the trade reduction plan was chalked out, and since 2006, this reduction has been carried out in two phases. The member states are divided into least developed countries, which are Bangladesh, Bhutan, Maldives, and Nepal, and non least developed countries, which are India, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka. In the first phase and in the second phase, the criteria for reducing the existing tariffs vary for both. Hence, SAFTA becomes fully operational only in 2016. SAFTA came into existence in order to increase the level of trade and economic cooperation among the Saarc nations. It aimed at reducing the tariff and barriers and also for providing special preference to the least developed countries among the Saarc nations. The objective of SAFTA is to promote good competition in the free trade area and to provide equitable benefits to all member countries. It also aimed at bringing transparency and integrity among the nations. One of the most significant objectives of Saarc is to increase people to people contacts. Saarc has tried to undertake a program of well connected South Asia, and some initiatives have also been taken up. For example, scholarship schemes, youth voluntary programs, visa exemption schemes, South Asian festivals. Moreover, the civil societies in the member countries are also trying to create more communication networks between the people. The Saarc Convention on Suppression of Terrorism was signed in 1987, and later two additional protocols on terrorism were signed. However, in spite of these documents on terrorism, there has not been much enthusiasm to cooperate on this issue. All Saarc members have an increasing rate of the youth population. The Saarc Youth Award is awarded to outstanding individuals from the Saarc region. The award is based on specific theme for each year. Initiatives such as inventions, protection of the environment, and disaster relief are recognized. As one of the poorest regions of the world, one of the most important priorities of Saarc is to reduce poverty. 40% of the Saarc population is living below the poverty line. Some strategies taken up are access to education, health services, nutrition, policy of agricultural development, labor intensive industrialization, and human resource development. The meetings of the finance ministers of Saarc is an important feature of Saarc agenda. The meetings help enhancing financial cooperation and open up new venue for development. The integrated program of action is also an important program. It includes 12 areas of cooperation. Various committees are working under integrated program of action like Agriculture Technical Committee, Committees on Communications, Environment, Rural Development. There are some constraints which does not allow South Asian cooperation to develop. Let us discuss those hurdles. There is less number of meetings among the member states. More engagement is required for making Saarc more effective. Another hurdle is mistrust, mutual security perceptions, and hostility among Saarc members. All the members feel that there is threat to their political, economic, and territorial stability from the neighboring countries. There is also a fear of India's hegemonic role in the region. Indian desire to participate in the decision making process as a leader has caused concern, particularly for Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh. The Saarc members are financially and economically not very much developed. Most of the member countries export similar products, and in that too, India plays a major role. This situation encourages going for aids or trading beyond the region. The mutual trade is very low. Moreover, there is economic, technological, and demographic imbalance between India and other member countries of Saarc. India, being larger in size, economy, and possessing high technological infrastructure, dominates other members. India is in the middle of the region. It can be said that without India, other member countries cannot move ahead, as India links all the members together. There is also lack of trust among the member states of Saarc. They do not trust each other mainly because of their nationalistic feelings, vested interests, and interstate disputes. The Charter of Saarc itself has some self imposed irregularity, as it has the provision of not discussing the controversial and bilateral disputes. On the one hand, it asks for increased cooperation, and on the other hand, avoids negotiations on bilateral disputes. The Charter also requires that all decisions should be taken unanimously, which also is quite difficult. All the South Asian countries are having different kinds of political systems. It is also one of the reasons for the failure of Saarc. South Asia has not been a strong democratic region. Most of the countries have remained unstable. Formation of Saarc is a landmark step for establishing cooperation for mutual benefits. But after more than 3 decades of its establishment, South Asian nations have not been able to push the process of integration into full swing. The organization is not viable enough to promote harmony and economic integration in the region. But everything with Saarc is not gloomy. In fact, the establishment of this organization is the proof that the regional neighbors want to achieve progress. And the member countries have been cooperating in various social, economic, and security fields. In a region increasingly targeted by Chinese investment and loans, Saarc could be a common platform to demand more sustainable alternatives for development, or to oppose trade tariffs together, or to demand better terms for South Asian labor around the world. Historically, and even in the present time, Saarc as an organization reflects the South Asian identity of the countries. This is a naturally made geographical identity. The potential of organization to maintain peace and stability in the region should be explored by all the member countries.